It's not going to disrupt your thing, right?
You have to go around.
No, I know.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming out and listening here for the Real Short Box. Now, this is one of many of our new live podcasts that we're going to be doing. Basically, this is the first one here at We Can Be Heroes. I don't know if you see the vast selection back here behind us. Looks amazing.
Heroes.
Looks amazing. So we highly recommend coming out and checking out the shop because it's really cool.
Look at this.
It is, yeah. So that's exactly what we're going to kind of be talking about, too. We're going to be talking about, of course, comic books, but we're going to talk a lot about prospecting tonight. Prospecting on comic books that we feel that are only going to go up in value and that will hopefully retain their value for you throughout your years, well into your golden years, to where you're almost near death and you need money for that operation. So you can either put yourself in a cryogenic freeze, or you can steal the kidneys of a 12-year-old Guatemalan boy.
Or you could quite possibly have children and make sure they have Hollywood careers. So then you got that Hollywood money.
Or you could harvest the organs of your children because they have the same blood.
Man, this is just dark. Did you just watch Hostel or something?
No.
Okay.
God, it's like 15 years ago.
I know, right? You know, there's a reason I didn't watch Hostel too. Once the villain started speaking in German, I'm out.
Wasn't Hostel the thing with the penis?
It would have been in a really angry
Was that
way.
Hostel too? There
I think it was two. It was two.
Penis.
It was two.
Yeah.
You remember back at our
penis.
old job, they had like the
Penile.
premiere.
Yeah.
Eli Roth
At the Dome, wasn't it? Or
yeah,
something?
and they were a little full of themselves, you know.
Now,
full.
Eli.
Before we get started, guys, we are going to go hot off the presses here. Currently at We Can Be Heroes at 20936 Devonshire Street in Chatsworth, California, where Donald is quite familiar with Chatsworth, California. He came here to work for many, many years with a certain company called the Tea Garden.
Many years.
Yes, yeah. We got bought out by a porn company, and we got moved up here to Chatsworth, and that's where
they did that.
There was tea and tea bags.
They did that too.
Kevin, that's approximately 1.5 seconds before he mentioned the porn thing.
That's true.
That's pretty good.
He just had to go there. All right. So, but before we get started,
so did he. That's what she said, right?
Before we get started here, guys, with our prospecting, I want to experiment with a nice little new segment here called "What is in the Short Box?" And
what is in the short box?
And this is going to be the short box that We Can Be Heroes. Now, I'd like to first of all.
So wait. These are books that are from We Can Be Heroes, correct?
Yes, from
and
We Can Be Heroes that are currently on sale.
Got it. Okay,
now,
cool.
We're going to go with some heavy hitters right out of the gate here. I'm going to go with Amazing Spider-Man #5, where we have a first appearance of Doctor Doom. And this is that an 8.0, guys?
This is an early first Doctor Doom appearance outside of the Fantastic Four.
Oh, yes. It is. Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah. This is a beautiful, beautiful book. Look at that. An 8.0.
You can't go wrong with AO.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a glare. Let me bring it in.
This book is about 57 years old. This is a classic.
There we go.
Silver Age book. Look at that.
Beautiful, right? Just
beautiful Silver Age book.
Look at Doom over there. Little Doomy. Doomy.
Victor. Little Victor.
Yeah, that's a great one.
All right. And then the second book we're going to have up here is an X-Men #12, a 7.5. This is the origin of Professor X and the first appearance of the Juggernaut.
Oh, my good Lord and gravy.
The Juggy.
Wow.
Look at this Juggernaut, bitch.
Now, this is particularly a
goodness.
great one. Jack Kirby did the cover of this. So it's got Kirby had a special talent of making everything seem very dynamic and kind of like it was jumping off the page.
Oh, yeah.
Not so much like Steranko. Steranko worked more with 3D elements and kind of make you trip balls while you're reading it. But Kirby was the king. You know, that's why they called him the king, King Kirby. But you just got to, take a look at this beauty. Look at that.
I mean, and let's be real here. Guys, can you kind of explain what a 7.5 CGC scale for a book of that age, just how hard that is to find?
This is easily, a $1,500 to $1,000 to $1,500 book, depending on where you can find it and if you can find it at a good deal. But yeah, if you can find it in the wild in this shape, you're doing well. This is one. It's been on my radar for a while. Unfortunately,
Look at that cover. Look at that cover.
There's other books that have also been on my radar, and they've taken precedence above this one. But
Look at
this is a great book.
Look at that
for
cover.
me.
You see the
So,
red is just a beautiful background.
Yeah.
It's interesting because the first appearance of the Juggernaut, like people obviously know the Juggernaut, but do they understand just how important he is in the X-Men storyline? I mean, yeah.
He's related to Charles Xavier.
Well, stepbrother.
Close enough.
All right. And finally, guys, just to impress Kevin, next month, the 46th anniversary of Amazing Spider-Man 129, the first appearance of the Punisher. That is a 9.4 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh my
Now,
God.
that is worth an arm, a leg,
Look
and
at that
some
book.
more.
Yeah.
And a 9.4, guys. This is
That's a
something
beauty.
else.
That's a beauty.
Yeah. Jerry Conway did the story on this. Jerry Conway is a marvelous man.
Who you met?
Met him at what was it, Long Beach Comic Con, or was it Comic Expo? It was Long Beach Comic Expo almost a year ago, and he was darling. He was a very nice guy. First appearance of the Punisher and the Jackal, which is another kind of an important character. It's going to become more important as we tip our toes into the Ben Reilly situation and how people love the Scarlet Spider and Ben Reilly and stuff.
I love this cover too, guys. I mean, what a great
It-
dichotomy on this cover. You've got Spider-Man being
Vintage.
targeted by a sniper rifle, and
One of the top
Mhm.
Bronze Age books.
All right, now I know you guys have been waiting to get into your prospecting here, so have at it. Who wants to go first?
Why not you,
One-
Mr. Donald?
And let me define to you what prospecting is exactly. It's very similar to a stock market investment, although it is a rare and collectible book investment. We are going to suggest things to you now that are still affordable, you should be buying, and you will see a return on investment much faster than you think. I'm talking about 6 months to a year, possibly 2 years, depending on the book. But keep in
Patience.
mind,
Patience.
if you do look for a 2-year turnaround on the book, that book is more than likely going to be less expensive. And if you're looking 6 month to a year turnaround, more likely a little more expensive. But I'm just we're not talking about $300, $400, $500 here. We're talking about under
No.
100, more often than not under 50, and quite a few under 30. So this is your chance to pay attention and make some money, especially if you're good at selling items on eBay and various other things as such.
What you got, Don Juan? What's your first book?
Well, first of all, when you're talking about prospecting books, it's important to know that some are obviously going to be more valuable than others, and some are going to carry that value and retain it. So if you're looking at books that you can make a solid investment in and keep for a long while, that's an important thing. And that would be where I would recommend. This is my first recommendation of the night. This is Strange Tales, number 169.
Ooh, I got that.
This is the first appearance of Brother Voodoo.
Oh my goodness.
Which Kevin apparently has too.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful book, beautiful cover. Brother Voodoo has yet to appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Well, he's Dr. Voodoo now.
but he's coming. He's coming. He took over for Doctor Strange for a while, so he became the Sorcerer Supreme. So yeah, Brother Voodoo is also recently in the new Avenger one with Conan, Savage Avengers. He's in that right now. So his character's out there. It's in the world. It's in print right now, and people are taking notice of that Savage Avengers book, but they're also taking notice of the next Doctor Strange movie. They're thinking, well, who's going to be in the next Doctor Strange movie? What character could appear? Or they could be thinking Disney Plus.
And what's the title of that Doctor Strange film?
The Multiverse of Madness.
Right. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which is a really cool title. And we already know it has the first, it's going to have the first time Nightmare has come into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that's going to be a big book, first appearance of Nightmare as well to get. But right now we're talking Brother Voodoo. I think Brother Voodoo is going to be somebody that you can look at as a long-term investment. And right now, this book's going, you could probably still catch it for $50 if you're lucky. But upwards of 100 right now.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
It hasn't passed it already.
I mean, $100 is a sizable investment, but we're talking about a tremendous payoff here.
And we all seen what happened to Morbius. They showed the trailer and that book, boom, through the roof. Not only that book, by the way, but as
Second
our
appearances.
fellow podcast member Jarrett mentioned, a ton of other appearances, like crossover from the Darkhold and things like that. All of Morbius's appearances in smaller titles and things are blowing up right now too. So this is definitely the one that I would be looking at. This is Strange Tales number 169. This is First Brother Voodoo. So get this book while you can and set on it. I mean,
use your tax
physically,
refund.
don't physically set on
Use
it.
part of your tax
be a
refund
bad
to
idea.
get this book.
Or if you don't get a tax refund, like some people, maybe just save your money.
We don't discuss politics on this show.
What's that have to do with politics? Just a tax refund.
There was a tax
There's always
cut.
politics behind tax refunds.
There was a tax cut. All right,
Okay.
Donald, you got another book here.
I got a few here. I'm gonna bring up a few all at once here. If I
Oh,
can.
look at this. He is going to
Let's see what we got.
splatter you with books right now, ladies and gentlemen. So
Oh.
get those pens out, get your
That was a
paper
fun
out,
one.
and start writing.
Get something
now.
to wipe your face with, because I'm just gonna shoot it at you.
You know, you don't have to just. Why,
You're
why do
applying
we
too
always
much.
go there?
What?
We cannot expand our audience if you continue this kind of behavior.
We must keep this at a
I don't know. I think I can
We
continue.
must keep this at
kind
a
of behavior.
PG-13 level.
Tim
PG-13.
Tebow, a man who was recently wed today,
Tell him.
will
Tell him.
not be
Oh, my
watching our podcast.
Tell him.
God, and I'm fine with that.
I don't know why. He's a two-time national champion.
Who?
And
Is he in the
NFL, a good NFL player for 2 years. He got 2 good years out of the NFL.
Sure.
Denver Broncos led him to victory.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, he's got that Super Bowl ring to prove it, right?
Well, he missed it by a year or two.
Hmm.
He missed
Guess
it by
he
a year or two.
doesn't. No.
He missed it by like a year or
Huh.
two. It's okay.
Okay, moving on. We're looking
We
at
like you, Tim. Don't worry.
at first appearances, and we're looking at prospecting books. Prospecting books are books that are going to go up in value. These books here that I have in my hand, these are what I call flippers. These are books that, unless
the
you
dolphin.
really like the story, these books are something that once the Netflix series start to come out, you're gonna want to start looking at selling.
Speaking of dolphins, did you see that documentary, The Code?
I've heard about
Is
it.
there anything that makes you want to cut your wrist more than that movie?
Tim Tebow, maybe.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
Come on.
All right.
Don't
so
hate
what-
on
what-
Tim Tebow.
So what are we flipping here, sir?
Anyway, and our sponsor, by the way, is Starkist Tuna. So good on that. Well done, Darren.
I didn't know that.
Guess
Oh.
we're not putting that advertisement up.
Well, I guess we'll go
so-
with Chicken of the Sea.
Yeah, I get Bumblebee Tuna. Excuse me, your balls are showing.
Hi-oh!
That's we're showing our age here. Okay, so these are what I've got. These are Millar books, or Miller books, depending on how you say his name. Mark Millar, the writer of all of these books. MPH, Reborn, Nemesis, Jupiter Circle, Starlight. All of these books have been mentioned as possible series for Netflix. He's even now in his new comic books that he's putting out, he's listing the titles and saying that all of these are going to be in production for Netflix. There's a shit ton. So what we're seeing is, look, we all know how the MCU within the Netflix universe started out super well, right? Then a lot of them kind of took a shit on us. Took a hot dump right on our chests.
Mhm. Iron
We
Fist.
don't. Ryan Frist, yeah, he took a dump on everybody's chest and then rubbed it in.
And then to
That's a
top that
hot
off
Carl,
with
by the way.
Ip-Man.
Well, I think if you're under a glass
Ip-Man
table-
is not a Marvel thing.
Can't
That
remember.
sucks. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, these books are going to be books that you're going to want to get right now. Now, I picked these all up pretty much in the 50-cent bin. Like they're easily accessible right now, but you got to move on them. You got to move on them like that, or they're going to be gone. They're
Especially
gonna-
for the comic book dealer.
or these are going to be $30 to $60 books really easy. So if you get them right now and you sit on them a little bit, not with your buns again, just sit on them, put them on a shelf somewhere until after one of the first Netflix series of these lands. See how that does. If that does super well, then just that smile across your face is going to get so big because these books are going to go through the roof. And we're talking Starlight is one of them that's been announced as a possible series coming up. This is actually a really good story. Jupiter Circle, not my cup of tea, but a lot of people liked it. This is one of the variant covers for that.
There you go. That's why I like this one.
Pretty much everybody across the board enjoyed this one just because it's all out action. Nemesis, that's another one that you'll want to pick up. This was an interesting thing about afterlife and being reborn in a fantasy fairy tale kind of world, so-called Reborn. And that's a very good one too. MPH is about a drug that makes you super fast. And then there's some various other ones that he's listed as well. But those are just some examples of some of the hot books that you could get right now for super cheap, like 50 cents a book. and just sit on them until they blow up. Now, I have more here that I can discuss, but I know, Kevin, you have some too. Did you want to bring some up?
Yeah, got a couple right here.
Okay.
Right here is Captain America 333. This is the first appearance of John Walker as Captain America. You know, there's a small turn in time when Steve Rogers left the role as the captain. And it's a cool cover here, I think. I like this cover. You know, it's like nobody in there. It's kind of like an empty mask. You see all the people in the
And we
background.
can see what you paid for it too.
Yes, indeed. And you
Unless
know
that's
what?
on the cover.
Well, no, it's not on the cover.
Okay,
It's
good.
just a little sticker there.
You know, that Captain America with the empty inside, it kind of reminds me of Chevy Chase in the Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
Really?
Kind of.
You
yeah,
guys
I
old
can
enough
see
to
that.
remember this John Carpenter not classic?
You know what? I actually was thinking about going back and watching that. Is it?
It's not terrible.
Yeah, is it better than what I thought? Because when I was a kid, I did not realize I didn't know much about the Invisible Man. I just thought he was, you know, like a cool Monster Universe monster. But then Chevy Chase was in it, and it was supposed to be like, oh wow, hip.
You would think it was funny, but it most certainly was not.
Right.
It's actually a drama. Pretty heavy drama, actually.
Interesting.
Sorry, Kevin. We just have a habit of interrupting you. Don't
That's
worry.
all right.
We'll do it again.
This is another one I think that would be of interest. This last book will probably be a character that will debut in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but this one, so Spider-Man is continues making his comeback. Spider-Man 149. This is the first true appearance of Ben Reilly from the original Clone Saga of the
First
mid-70s.
Ben Reilly.
Yes.
And Ben Reilly goes on to become the Scarlet Spider
Yes.
and is associated with the Jackal, who I believe was one of the clones or something. I mean, he's right on the cover. It says
Right.
either way, the Jackal will have his revenge. So he's
Right.
involved in this cloning.
Now, of course, he already
Aspect.
showed.
Yeah.
And this is just my little secret pick right here at some point. This issue here of Adam Kenny X-Men 285 is the first appearance of Mikhail Rasputin. Excuse me. Mikhail Rasputin is kind of like the third member of that family between Colossus and Illyana. He's kind of like the evil brother. He was played a factor in the Age of Apocalypse, but this is someone who can pop up at some point in the future. And it's real cheap to get, so think about it. Kenny X-Men 285. I already have a couple issues myself. Get it for probably maybe $3, $4, $5. So something to get, just like you said, invest for the future.
Guys, I have one.
You got one.
Hit us.
I have one. This is a book that I'm not going to say to go out and get it, because if you haven't by now, you're probably screwed. But if it's sitting around your estate and you don't know what this is, we are talking about Amazing Spider-Man 361. Have this in a 9.4 right here. This will eventually be going on sale. Now, much like Morbius, predictably, the trailer shot Morbius's first appearance, Amazing Spider-Man 101 through the roof.
Mhm.
The trailer will do the same for this. In fact, just Venom alone, the movie, with a cameo of Carnage, just made this book go extremely high. If you're lucky, you could still maybe find this around out there for like $200 at a 9.4. Probably find it a hair cheaper depending on who's trying to get rid of it. But this book is definitely going to go up. This is like a guaranteed return on your investment. I promise you. It's just a matter of how much it will return.
No, those are a comic. You want to say movie?
We don't need to whisper. We do our inside baseball out loud here for our audience, okay?
We were talking about the spinach in your teeth. I'm sorry.
Spinach.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten spinach since 1987.
You ate it out of a can, didn't you, you heathen?
No, I thought it was cool. Oh, by the way, quick interlude here. Donald, would you like to take a moment and
Yeah.
just show this fine piece from We Can Be Heroes?
All right. So Julio at the shop here, he wanted me to just briefly mention this, that a long time ago, Neil Adams, and we all know or should know who Neil Adams is. He's a very
Prominent.
great,
Classic.
very special artist, and specifically in the DC universe, but you know, all over. And Skate Man, anybody? Skate Man? No? Okay.
Sounds like a Mega Man villain.
It really does. It really does. So he would do comic write-ups for Playboy occasionally, and this is one of them. This is you can see they're all autographing her behind.
Wow. We could probably show this and get the PG-13 rating because it is art, Kevin.
Yes,
art.
that is true.
Yeah, and she has all these pens, like they can't share pens. Who knows where they're putting them?
Does he
when they're
put
done.
something like this on sale, or is this just cool?
I don't think he likes to be remembered for that. Actually,
Okay, well, we'll
Neil
make sure to
Adams.
go ahead and get rid of this one here.
Just burn it to the ground.
All
Okay,
right.
no, not really.
This is kind of a fun little comic I see in front of here, Donald. Not nearly as fun as your Crash Test Dummies collection, which
No, that's true. I did have a Crash Test. I still do. Crash Test Dummies #1 comic book. So, all right, the WB. They just announced here recently with the trailer the Stargirl series. So there's a new WB series coming out, and it's got Stargirl and it's and Stripe, who's the robot. I think it's her stepdad that gets into the robotic suit, and he's like an Iron Man to her. What would you say? Captain Marvel, I guess. So this is the first appearance of both. This is Stripe #0. This is actually written by Jeff Johns. This is his first, if I recall, his first DC work is doing this series. And I believe he wrote based the character off his sister.
Now-
which
Oh
is-
yes, his
Now,
sister,
Donald,
yeah.
I want to throw
passed
something
away,
out
yeah.
about this book. You and I had a conversation actually about this a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
Did you say one of the contingents of owning this book is you need to have a 9.6 or higher to really make it worth it?
I think so, yeah. I think it's important that since this book came out in 99, it's what? Jesus, it's
21 years old.
20-year book. Where did the time? Okay, I'm going to talk about my age later. This is a little over 20 years old, this book. And you're going to have to be, in order to get a good resale on this, you're going to have it in a 9.6 or above as far as condition. Now, 9.6, basically the way you grade that, it's 0 to 10. And a 9.6 is really good. Probably the best you'll be able to get is a 9.8. So 9.6, maybe even a 9.2 or a 9.4, you'll be able to sell it, but not as high. But this book I actually just sold.
You did?
Yeah.
That particular
What?
one? Or do you have multiple
Yes.
copies?
No, I sold this one. This one just got sold. I sold it on eBay. I think I made $30 in profit
Why'd you
off of it.
we let
So
it go
what did
for?
you initially
I had more
purchase that?
than-
Was that a
more than
50-cent bin book?
Yeah, this was a 50-cent bin book.
Okay.
So right now you'll probably be able to pick it up for $30 is what you're looking at.
You would know.
Right. So did you miss the train on this? Almost. Should you grab it now if you want it? Yes. But I'm going to advise, if you don't like the characters or don't care and just want to flip it to make money, don't get this book. Only get this book if you do care about the characters and you want to just set it quietly, have it gain some value over time. It can do that for you, but it's not going to be a quick flip in money for you unless you can find it for less than $30. If you can get it for $10, I'd still get it and then just post it on eBay or Instagram, however you do it, and sell it. This is Stars and Stripes #0, first appearance of both characters. You got anything else, Kevin?
Well, although this isn't the first appearance, but it's still a nice book to have, in my opinion. Really cheap to get. Excalibur #1 from the late 80s. I have a feeling at some point this can be one of these Disney Plus shows in the future with the Excalibur team, offshoot of the X-Men.
Oh, I agree, 100%. I think there's a lot of potential for these characters, particularly Captain Britain.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, I think Captain Britain's an important character. He's right there. His costume's amazing, by the way. He just looks cool as shit. And, outside of the U.S. has a lot of heroes. So I think it's going to be quickly learned, especially with Netflix. And through Netflix started doing a lot of, and like one of the first ones was with the guy that was in the band with Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, Max.
Not Max Weinberg, the other guy. I think he's the bassist or something.
From the E Street Band. That's
Yeah.
pretty random.
But he had his own Lilyhammer. Lilyhammer. That was the name of it. That was the name of the series on Netflix. Now, what Lilyhammer did, it walked the fine line of it was in what did they speak? Norwegian and in English.
Yeah.
It was a dual thing. And then suddenly you start seeing more of these things pop up on Netflix where they would speak Japanese sometimes, in English, others Spanish, and then English. So you're getting these dual language series that are coming out on Netflix. So if Disney's smart enough to take notice of that, not saying that this one needs a dual language because it's, from Britain and it's in English and everything, but it's a good way to start to try to put heroes in other parts of the world, in other corners of the world, to bring interest in these heroes into the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that's a good book, Kevin.
Now,
very
guys,
good choice.
I'd like to take a quick break from prospecting and reach back
Sure.
into the short
time.
box here. The short box here for our buddy We Can Be Heroes, of course, sitting here at 20936 Devonshire Street in Chatsworth, California, home of Donald's former profession. And there's a couple books here that he requested that we make sure to show you guys, just so you know that he has them. Ultimate Spider-Man number 33.
Okay,
Look
for
at
those that don't know about the Ultimate Spider-Man story coming, that might be coming soon. So we have Miles Morales now from the Ultimate Spider Universe. He's in the regular Marvel universe now in comic books. So he's the only one that's actually made the transition yet. The Donny Cates, who has done Cosmic Ghost Rider and has done some good things with Absolute Carnage and stuff, he had mentioned that he wants to bring Ultimate Venom into the Marvel Universe. And I think I know his reason why. Venom in the Marvel Universe now has become so much of a hero or an anti-hero that I think it's going to be very hard for them to turn him back into a villain. So I think if he's going to bring Ultimate Venom in, he's going to bring Ultimate Venom in as a villain.
As a true
And it's going to
baddie.
have him be the true opposer of
The Spider-Man.
Miles Morales and Peter Parker. So it's a cool idea. That's why these books are going to start blowing up soon. So grab them now while you can. They're going to be cheap right now.
Did you say he's transitioning?
Yes, I did. He's makes the transition. Not transitioning.
All right.
He's not wearing anything.
What a
less.
surprise. Ultimate Spider-Man number 34.
Yes.
Oh, great. That
Yeah,
was-
this is the whole. I believe this is the whole run for the Ultimate Venom. So grab that, snatch it up.
It is on top of the fact that we are going to get a finale here of Amazing Spider-Man number
Ooh,
16.
here we go. Now
That's the
now we're bringing
annual
it. Now we're
Amazing
bringing it.
Spider-Man annual number 16.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's the first appearance, Kevin?
A lovely lady who should have been in that movie last year, Monica Rambeau.
And on Martin Luther
technically,
King Day,
there.
deserves all the love. This lovely lady,
Technically,
is,
she was in the movie, but you know
is
what I'm saying. She should have been
amazing.
as the prized
amazing
character,
character.
title character
And a rather affordable price, gentlemen.
at
Yes.
the moment.
Strike Force. It's a new Marvel comic book out right now. I think they're on issue 3 or 4. Monica Rambeau has a prominent feature in that, along with Blade and a few other characters as well. I believe Wiccan's in there, and Jessica Drew.
Jessica Drew.
Yeah, Spider-Woman, right? Yeah, Spider-Woman. And one or two others, I believe. But that's going to be a hot book. It's had some heat on it for a while, and it's only going to go up because she's going to appear in the MCU. I can almost guarantee it. Because when everybody said Captain Marvel and it was like a blonde white girl, everybody's like, "Oh, great, wonderful."
Well, I mean, she already did make her appearance in the movie, but just as a grown adult.
It-
That's what we're looking for.
Right. She was a little kid,
Yeah, a little
and
kid.
not as a superhero, so it doesn't
Doesn't count.
quite resonate with the Marvel fandom as it should when her full appearance grown up happens.
But
Also,
they teased us. They teased it.
Mhm.
Also, one more note about We Can Be Heroes before we jump back into prospecting here. This shop is outstanding, and I would probably go a little as far to
Behind
say
us. Look at this.
this is your shop for variant covers.
Yes.
I don't think there's any question about it. I know Donald's very excited every time he sees his Vampirella variant covers. Those are really awesome. I can't
They're beautiful. You
complain
can
that
see
one
them
bit.
right across from us is a whole nother wall of just variants. And right behind us here are all of their new releases of comic books that they get in every week, basically. One more thing I do want to mention that you guys don't know about, maybe you do, but about We Can Be Heroes, is this coming Saturday, the 25th, on my mother's birthday.
Oh my goodness.
They are having a giant sale here at the shop. They acquired a collection of over 12,000 comic books.
Did you just say 12,000?
Over
Wow.
12,000 comic books that they're going to be
Wow.
selling here at the shop starting at 11 a.m. They're going to have hot dogs and sodas and things like that. So stop on by, get yourself a drink and a dog, and pull out some cool 50-cent books. Who knows? You might get lucky and find some 50-cent
Yeah.
keys.
Now, quick question: as I'm sitting here right now, are these books currently here, or is this
No, they're bringing them in on the day.
What?
Because they don't want to give anybody an advantage of like seeing the books ahead of time or anything.
Okay.
So they have them in storage. They have them kept away. They have a locked room. They have an armed guard in
wow.
front of it.
That's
Mm.
serious.
Yeah, and it's a very secure location. It's the site is not known to anybody,
Not even you.
but the owners and the two owners each have 2 digits, I think, or 3 digits of the key that gets them in the passcode to unlock the room.
Is
to
it
be
kind of
able to
like
get
the nuclear
books.
code thing where you need 2 people on each side to put the key
Exactly.
in and you got to
Yes.
turn them simultaneously?
Yes, that's exactly what they have to
Look,
do.
guys, let's be serious here.
That's amazing.
You know, Kevin, of course, you of course are a little surprised with this arm guard, but book mining, especially with all the advantages of the internet now. Look, if you got the eyes and you have the patience to do it, this is going to make you money. It's really almost a guarantee at this point that if you can find certain
Well,
titles,
it's always about patience anyway. When you're looking for a key book in a long box or a bunch of boxes, I mean, we've done this for years.
Mhm.
It's all about patience.
I just want to take a quick moment to mention this book that was back behind Darren over here, and we got a request to just talk about it for a second. It's Pervana.
Like
It's
Pervana?
Kitty Nirvana, apparently. Kitty Jenkins returns to guide you on an absurdly amusing odyssey through time and meowder space. Yes, it said meowder space on the back,
So,
guys.
so basically, it's kind of like a Buddha kitty.
You know, I don't want to be a hater, but
Nirvana.
have we seen some of the artwork in there?
Basically, it's
I
like a
mean,
Buddha
just-
cat.
This is kind of like it's almost like
Very
children's
trippy.
storybook hour
Very trippy.
kind
Well,
of stuff.
I think this cat would disagree, Darren.
That cat would disagree. You
Looks like
think?
a very disagreeing cat.
Okay.
Very angry for the headdress it's being forced to wear. I would
He
imagine.
looks Hindu. I mean, is
That's a
that
she.
Pervana? Would Nirvana be Hindu?
Jesus.
No, it's
Darren.
Buddhism.
Buddhism. Thank you. Why are you
Anyway,
here, Kevin.
okay, so we got Pervana out of the way. Now we're going to go back to some more prospecting here.
Oh,
So basically, as far as prospecting is concerned, you have to look at a lot of things, and you have to look ahead is the big thing.
of course.
For me,
Project.
yeah. Can you look at this book and see if that's his first appearance as that character?
That guy.
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
Live fact checking on the air, folks.
Always. So, okay, so Mr. King, Tom King, wrote a series called I'll take it out if I can. Boy, this tape is
Yeah, we did
legit.
not rehearse the removal here.
No, I'm gonna take it out of this
Some
bag.
serious adhesive.
Now I bought this for 50 cents, I think, or $1 or something. This isn't even the first issue. It's the Vision #1. It ended up being a 12-issue miniseries that Tom King did. Critical acclaim. A lot of people loved it for Marvel Comics. Highly recommended it. And now we've got WandaVision coming on Disney Plus, and they said it's like nothing you've ever seen. It's part comedy and part action. So that's pretty much what this is.
You know, Donald, just by taking it out of the plastic, you have dropped its value 15%.
I don't care. It's fine. I'm rich in comics. What do I? No, I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. But this is a cool book. You can still get them reasonably priced before the Disney Plus series lands, and then you realize, oh crap, they're basing it on this book.
Well, you know, what's interesting too is I think Disney Plus, because it is obviously relatively new, this is when you really want to jump on board here because, you know, they are doing everything in their power to make this platform work.
Don't they have over there in the case? They have the first where Moon Knight.
Let me find.
Yeah.
I'll
I think it's in a Werewolf by Night number 32 would be the first appearance of Moon Knight, and I think they have it over there in their glass case. And we're gonna take a look real quick. Darren's gonna look, and I'm gonna.
Kevin, can you please sing something while they wait?
Sing.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Hallelujah.
Oh, I see. You want to do like an incantation for the book we're about to show?
Yes, so we can bring back the lunar moon and the blood moon or whatever. I don't know. This is Werewolf by Night number 32. This is the origin and first appearance of Moon Knight, aka Mark Spector. And this is at a 5.5, guys. Look how beautiful this book is. I'm going to stand up for this one to show you because it's got that plastic on it. So you can see how beautiful that book is. Now at a 5.5, guys. First Moon Knight in existence. That's what this book looks like. This book, you're not going to be able to touch for cheap. At a 5.5, this is an $800 book. Easy $800 book. So, oh, I look better with that. Look at that reflection.
He's setting up the pins. He's setting up the pins. I'm waiting for him to knock him down. Come on, knock him down.
So, yeah, I'm not going to say I have this book, but
But you are, so you can say to Kevin, "Hey, guess what I have that you don't?"
no, I'm not going to do that.
Sweet revenge.
This is a Werewolf by Night 32. This is a great book. If you have the extra money and you want the character, if you want the character, get the book. If you don't care about the character, don't get the book. Who's going to pay $800 for a book and then try to flip it for more later on? Like, especially for a Disney Plus series. I don't,
Not worth it.
not worth it right now.
Vanna, could you please return that?
And so I don't think that I would go that route. Kevin, do you have any more books?
It's a second.
You want to? I'm not sure what to think about that one. I don't know why I brought that one. It's a character that's kind
Well,
of.
you want to talk about Korvac, right? The first appearance of Korvac. And his was in, I think it was a Defenders Annual number 5, if I recall.
Ooh.
Now, I could be wrong on the number, and apologies if I am. I'm just going from memory, and I'm old. So, Kevin brought in a What If Avengers had become pawns of Korvac. So, it's a cool book, cool looking book. Paid a couple bucks for it. And who knows? Korvac is a character that has yet to appear in the MCU, much like Kang, by the way, and Wonder Man,
Wonder Man.
which we need to see. We need to see all these guys. I've been recently diving into the Marvel's Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes animated series before they did Avengers Assemble, the follow-up animated series, because I do have Disney Plus now at my house. So I've been watching that. And they go deep cuts on these. They have Grim Reaper, who's on the cover of this. They have Grim Reaper in it, and he's actually a pretty badass villain. They have, some characters that you just, Kang the Conqueror, you don't see him anywhere, and he's prominent in that series. So it's kind of cool. Korvac is somebody that we need to see. And if Marvel was smart, they'd put him in something or do something with him for sure. Definitely.
Well, also too, I mean, it's just you're talking sheer volume of content at this point. Like, considering Marvel wants to keep this really fresh, they're going to have to put every character. They're going to have to empty the universe to get stuff out there because the demand for their content is very high at this moment. So, what were we able to find out about this book, Doctor, or alleged Doctor, or alleged Chancellor Kevin?
So
alleged.
I think that earlier we had the first appearance of Marvel Man. He's in a different comic.
Right.
But the first time they call Marvel Man Quasar is in the Incredible Hulk 233.
Yeah, and
Now
234.
there is
Back to
debate
back.
between 233 and 234, but I believe it's 233. And you can correct me if I'm
See
wrong
the dude
on
the
there.
cover.
But yeah, he's on the cover. They do call him Marvel Boy in here on the cover, but I think that changes in the book.
And maybe that's the difference. Maybe they call him Marvel Boy here, and then the next issue, maybe that they call him Quasar.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
that
what
could
it
be
is.
it.
That could be.
But for that reason alone, Quasar is somebody that should be on your radar. You
Absolutely.
need a Quasar radar.
Now you need it as soon as
That is
possible.
a proper rhyme.
Quasar radar.
Quasar radar.
So you get the Quasar radar. Basically, he is an outer space Green Lantern on his own. He uses these bands, these power bands, to manifest and create things, items.
Manifest.
So he can create like a big gold-looking like statue of an Oscar in order to hold up a building or something. You know what I mean? Like that, like the Green Lantern Corps, like they would do. But he doesn't have a core behind him. He's a lone character. So that's what separates him a little bit from Green Lantern. And I don't think that the bands work on willpower, if I recall. They just work. They're space bands. Space bands.
Now, Kevin, I have a question for you, sir.
Yes.
There's a film coming out next month called The Birds of Prey.
No.
Do you have access to a Batman Adventures number 12 by Kelly Puckett?
I wish I did, to be honest with you. Or you know what? I take that back. I might. Back in the East
We've
Coast,
talked about this.
in
Yeah.
the attic,
He might.
I might, because I remember our good friend of the show, Shant, mentioned that at Costco back in the day, they came in these packs. I'm like, you know what? I think I have one of those packs. I just got to find it, but it sounds so familiar. Where he would put a bunch of comics together in the Costco pack back in the early 90s.
Oh, yeah.
I might have it. I just got to find it
And
next time I
this is
go.
a first appearance of whom?
The lovely Harley Quinn.
Exactly.
One of the most valuable books of the 1990s, along with Deadpool, of course.
First appearance of Harley Quinn in the comic book world. Not her first appearance in the DC
Continuity.
continuity universe. That was
That was
either
different.
a Batman or Detective Comics issue during No Man's Land, if I recall. But yeah, that's an important one. That one goes for what, like $1,000 now, at least.
If it's a really, really nice looking issue, yes.
Good luck with that.
I mean, it should be a nice looking issue. It came out in 1993.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be stupid if they didn't take care of it. But yes, it's up there. Hundreds of dollars, or not at least $1,000.
Any
this
other
point.
books?
Well, I would like to take a moment also too to mention Bloodshot, which I'd like to share.
Yes.
Little inside baseball, with you guys here. We have differing opinions on Bloodshot here. Now, Eternal Warrior #4, which I've just been informed by our
Cameo.
phony chancellor,
Yes.
is the first
your
cameo
chancellor.
appearance by
Your chancellor.
of Bloodshot. Now, Bloodshot is a really cool character, and of course, being someone who grew up in the '90s, watching a number of independent comic movies that were like, I would say, yeah, they're really good. They didn't necessarily make a lot of money per se, but they weren't necessarily supposed to, because comic book films in the '90s were really not a big thing. But I'm of the opinion that I would take Donald's side a little bit, that the financials on this could be questionable, but the quality of the film I'm not ready to write off just yet.
Right.
And that is a big thing, because somebody has to start it somewhere. Remember, we had Batman Begins that had a production budget of like $125 million.
Iron Man 1,
And-
I don't think he barely
and
had
I
100
think-
million.
Domestically, it took in like 170 or something like that, Batman Begins, and then Dark Knight quickly becomes a $500 million film. So could Bloodshot be a big run here potentially of independent comic characters, being that it, was
Could be a
originally
sleeper
from
hit.
Valiant?
Could be a sleeper hit. You never know. If not domestically, then internationally. You never know.
It's gonna fall on its face.
Would you tell it to Vin Diesel's face?
Yeah, I'd be like this. Vin Diesel, it's gonna fall on its face.
But
He's
Vin,
short.
but you know what Vin would say to you? Hey, I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
I know he does. He really does. Quarter mile of time.
So,
it's amazing.
But my big thing here is that, I mean, you're talking about, you're coming out in March,
Mhm.
which is an interesting release date, and you
March
don't
13th.
You do not want to scoff at March, folks. March has serious stuff
Friday the
coming up.
13th.
Didn't Gladiator come out in March?
No, it came
No,
out
came out
in
in the
May.
summertime.
Yeah.
But I will say
Didn't
that
Shrek 2 come out in March?
May.
no, Captain Marvel did come out in March, which obviously had a massive
Oh,
hype
that's a
machine
little-
behind it.
Yeah, that's a little
But I mean, there are films that do come out in
The
March.
300 came out in March.
It did come out in March. So
Watchmen came out in April.
my whole point I'm making here is
Oh.
that I don't know what comic book film is going to be competing with Bloodshot in the month of March.
Mm.
And this, sometimes it's not even about having a great film. Sometimes it is about who is your competition.
Yeah.
And it has a 3-week head start before the New Mutants comes out.
Yeah, and this
It's
is
true.
also another thing you have to. It's kind of like we say in softball. It's not about did you beat the best team. It's did you beat the team to win the championship. So if if your team you can't beat is right there in front of you, and you don't have to face them, so be it. Bloodshot's the same thing.
Talk about fantasy football. That was a killer.
You lost?
I was the winningest team.
You lost?
Thanks to Darren, I was the winningest team. It was a 10-2,
And you still blew it.
and I lost to a guy that didn't have a winning record. He came in our Super Bowl and beat me by
Like 10, 15.
10 to 11 points.
How much
Yeah,
money
something
did you miss out on?
like that. 100 and something? I don't know. I mean, but we don't gamble.
I'm kind of shocked that they didn't have a second place prize. I mean, can't you at least give the buy-in back? I mean, it's just kind of honestly, like in my league, third place at least gets their buy-in back.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's a small league though, so
it's
Who
it's
knows?
hard to win these.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know the rules. I don't make the rules. I don't care for the rules.
So we've been prospecting quite a bit here, ladies and gentlemen, and I highly recommend you take our advice. We are not currently at this point under contract by anybody. We are
No.
doing this out of the
Not yet.
kindness of our hearts.
Not yet.
And the idea is that we want to give you these ideas, hoping that our ideas will catch on and we will eventually build a much larger base because, guys, we do know what we're talking about. We are not only people that study the financials and the economics of comics. We are readers and collectors ourselves, and you can see these things coming sometimes from a mile away
A mile
if you're
away.
willing to put the work in.
Mhm.
That's the key.
Yeah, you got to go. I know some people, they just get lucky. They were like, oh, my cousin was throwing out some books, so I took them and I had first Batman in it or something. And you're like, are you shitting me? What? And then
That
other
is life.
times it's like you see a friend of yours that you haven't run into in a while, and he's all like hobbled up and walking around. You're like, what's wrong? And he's like, oh, I've been, on my knees looking at short boxes for 7 days straight. And you were on the floor under a table in a garage. And I
Eating
hit my
Hot
head.
Pockets.
Yeah. So, I had to get up there at 4 a.m. and look at the stuff. Yeah. Those are the people that come out with the good stuff because they're first. They're in line and they're hungry for it. We don't always have that luxury. A lot of us have 9 to 5s. But some people, that they can take the time off or can, do a weekend thing.
They own their own businesses. They can just.
But if you
Yeah,
think
step
for
away.
1 second, at least one of us will not be here right at 11 a.m. on Saturday, looking through 12,000 books, folks. 12,000. This is how you win.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is about the availability. Are you going to get out of bed, come down here at 11 a.m., which
It's nothing.
it really is nothing. I mean, it is for some people, I guess. But I mean, are you going to come down here and do all the mining that is necessary for you to build your collection?
So necessary.
I mean, you're watching us live. You can also rewind this anytime you want just to double check the titles. Trust us on this one.
Mhm.
This is
Mhm.
coming from us. We have literally done prospecting pretty much the entire hour here. So, I mean, there's
Donald has
no
made people a
excuse.
lot of money over the years just by thinking ahead.
Yeah, it's all about foresight, and thinking about.
He had foresight on that Moon Knight
And
many years
foreskin.
ago.
Yeah, there was a $40 purchase 10 years ago, I think, or something like that. Taskmaster was a $10 purchase, and that's a
Oh, for me, it was a 50-cent purchase.
that's a 350 to $400 book.
The one book that I featured, Spider-Man 361, I had in pristine condition for $8, folks. That is at least over 200 right now,
Mm-hmm.
and rising.
Yeah, you just got to look at what's coming up. Look at the shows, look at the movies, look at the animation. Also, listen to the comic book creators themselves and what they've got coming down the pike as far as writing. Because even within the books, there's still heat because there's potential. Whenever there's potential, whether in the comic book form or on the celluloid form on the big screen or on the small screen television, you're still looking at some heat there. And where there's heat, there could definitely be some fire and some profitability to be had.
And keep in mind, just a little perspective for y'all. If you were to buy one stinking share of Microsoft today, you would pay $162 for one share of a
Mhm.
company that has hundreds of millions of shares available. You guys, for $162, you could get 10 quality books that will turn the investment faster and will be tax-free.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Tax-free.
I'm going to mention something real quick. Free Comic Book Day last year came out with a Spider-Man book that had a storyline that was running with Carnage and Venom in it. This storyline now has some amazing heat behind it. So again, this is something that was written in the comic book world. So I recommend looking for this book. It was free on Free Comic Book Day. Now it's probably a $10 book.
Wow.
Before you know it, it's going to be a $50 comic book. So get it while you can. There's some heat behind this one. Another one that's had a general amount of heat, oddly enough, because it is where the Avengers team with Captain Marvel to
Which Captain Marvel?
Here,
Marvel,
Marvel.
Okay.
and they team with Drax, the Destroyer, and they go after Thanos. And this is Captain Marvel number 31. Now, this book we've seen Marvel in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I get that, but what we don't know is if that Marvel has a relative or another brother or an evil version of Captain Marvel that you might see down the pike. And just some of the stuff, if you can't afford the first appearance of Thanos or the first appearance of Captain Marvel or something, then books like this become important because they're just minor key books with great storylines that you can still pick up reasonably cheap. I mean, this is anywhere from $15 to $35, $40 book here, and you can just grab it. It's Captain Marvel number 31. It'll always pretty much maintain its value. It's not going to go down too much, even if it does. But if they start diving a little bit more into these characters, books like this will start to go up. Another one that I'm surprised hasn't been talked about at all in anywhere, and this is probably you're going to hear it here first, is we're looking at Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter #5. It's the first appearance of Lady Shiva. Lady Shiva is one of the ladies that helped train Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, helped train Batman to fight, to learn how to defend himself and to destroy his nemesis or nemesis. I don't know. Nemesis. But Lady Shiva is a cool character. This is Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter #5. This is a book you can pick up for a couple bucks still. 3 to 5, maybe 10. But she'll make an appearance. It'll either be in the cinematic universe of DC or it'll be in somewhere within the television universe. Keep in mind, that's also going to depend upon Shang-Chi and how well that does for MCU. And Shang-Chi's first appearance, I believe they have over in that glass case as well. Was it a Marvel premiere or Marvel Adventures or something
I
like
think it's
that?
a Marvel premiere.
Something like that. And it's first Shang-Chi, which is a very cool book. That's Master of Kung Fu, I believe. Yeah, that's it.
There you go. Number 15.
It's a special Marvel
That's Marvel
edition.
edition.
Special Marvel edition featuring the Hands of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. Look at this. I just name a book and
There it
pull
is.
it
It
off
disappears.
the,
It
off the
disappears.
shelf over here.
Thank you so much, Vanna.
Look at that book. As a 7.0. Beautiful book. Great shape.
Here's a chance
Great
for you guys
cover.
to screenshot this
Great cover.
and bring up the resolution. We apologize, a little dark coming in there.
Yeah. But it's an amazing book. And they have it here available at We Can Be Heroes. And we can't mention comic shops without mentioning our sponsor.
Yes.
And our sponsor is
The Godfather of Comics.
Spiro's Heroes.
Wait, isn't that where the commercial's supposed to play?
Yeah.
Oh, we're live now.
We're live now. Yeah. So unless you want, you can make the music. Oh, sorry to interrupt. Just wanted to talk about a comic book shop in Canoga Park, California called Spiro's Heroes. Spiro's Heroes has over 300,000 comic books in their shop. Find them at spirosheroes.com. Probably going to be better off of finding them on eBay, and you can find them on Instagram, and I believe they have a Facebook page as well. But they're a great shop in Canoga Park, not far from where we are. In fact, these guys tend to help each other out quite a bit, which is nice.
12 years
Yeah.
strong, the shop's been going.
You know, and
Mhm.
honestly, I like their eBay page. I personally prefer being in their shop. It's just a preference.
Nothing beats being in the Temple of Comics.
Because when you're posting things on eBay, it's just your opinion, what you think.
Right, you
people might
prefer
want
you
as
prefer to
opposed
be
what
in
your
their
opinion.
shop and to look at the stuff than get it on eBay. I get
Yes.
what you're saying. Yeah,
Mhm.
that makes sense. Especially because you want to take a look at it. And I just picked up a key book yesterday at Spiro's Heroes. So if you want to check that out, it is posted on our Instagram page for the Real Short Box, and you can look and see what I happen to be able to procure. It's quite a doozy, actually.
And to just keep your appetites all wet and everything like that, Kevin, just please make sure not to blow the secret on this, but we will be doing an unboxing potentially very shortly of a book that you sent out to get graded.
yes, it should be in hopefully this week.
And this is going to be
Thursday.
big
Let's hope.
time.
Should be.
Better be.
Book.
Mine's coming Thursday.
We don't
Hmm.
unbox $15 books here, folks.
No, we'll have 2 unboxings. Mine's coming in too.
We are unboxing books
Excellent.
that are worth typically around $500
Or
plus.
more, yeah.
Yeah, there'll be some cool one. We're going to post that on Instagram. We're going to do a little video about it. We'll post it on our Instagram page.
You might have seen
the Real
Donald
Short
cry
Box.
about the grade.
Probably. And we'll also post it on Facebook. I'll either cry because it's really low or I'll cry because it's much more
It's
than I
much more you
expected,
expected.
which is what I always hope for. Don't always get, but it's always what I hope for. What do we got? Hello. How are you? Good to hear from you. We all know who that is, right?
Who is this? I can't see from here. Sorry.
It's
Black Rook 7.
Yep. I believe that's Evan, if I'm correct. Is that you? Is that you, Evan?
See if he responds.
Or do I get the
Evan.
wrong? Or do I
This
got
is
the
the-
wrong
This
person?
is Evan. Your chance to respond.
I think it's Evan.
I think this is how that
I could be
movie
wrong.
Unfriended began. And
Oh boy.
Oh, here we go.
My son is watching. He loves the Groot hat. Oh, where's the Groot hat? Do you have the Groot hat?
Is this the group head? Is Green Lantern or
The Groot hat.
And
Yeah, it's Evan.
Just so you know, we do have at this shop a first appearance of Baby Groot.
Oh yes,
We do.
We do.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a
I
baby
can see it
Groot
right
up on
now.
the wall.
Oh, Vanna's up there getting it for us.
Yeah,
Here we
she's
go.
Oh my
turning
goodness,
turning
look at
the
that.
numbers.
Look at
The
the
letters.
expedience
Smooth.
of this. Thank you so much. First appearance of Baby Groot.
Look how adorable he is.
I'm gonna tell you, he is adorable. That's not Baby Groot on the cover. So, Kevin, your
But
your
it's the first
child is
appearance
going to be
of Baby
very
Groot.
ugly.
It says it right here.
I know, but that's not Baby Groot on the cover. I'll
You
tell you
sure?
that. I know for a fact.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. I know. Baby Groot's adorable. That's less adorable.
Now, who's more adorable, Baby Groot or Baby Yoda?
we got comments over here from the audience.
Who said that?
I would
They-
say Bikram yoga.
They definitely think it's Baby.
Wait,
Yoda.
don't use that. That guy's in trouble.
Oh,
They
Well,
definitely think it's. Baby
he
Yoda.
still came up with a great idea, right?
He did. he
Don,
did.
do you have any other books here you want to go over before we?
Yeah, before we
walk
wrap
away?
this up, I just got a few more books here. I'll go over them relatively quickly.
There we
Okay,
go. It's classic. for the
so
90s.
we've talked about Johnny Blaze, and we've talked about what is his name? He's the newest one, the Cosmic Ghost
That's
Rider,
Ghost Rider.
and we've talked about the Ghost Rider that has the car. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I forgot
He's
that
the
guy's
car,
name.
the guy, the
The
Latin
guy.
guy with the car.
Latin dude with the car.
Yeah, that Ghost Rider. I can't remember his name. If anybody remembers his name, tell me now because I can't remember it. But and then we kind of have a character here that got
Underrated.
lost in the shuffle,
Underrated.
got underrated. It's Reyes. Thank you very, very, very much, Evan. I appreciate that because I did not remember that. So this is Danny Ketch. Danny Ketch first appeared in Ghost Rider #1. This is a 1990 Marvel
years.
comic right here.
Almost 30 years or about 30 years. Look at that. Look at that. That's a cool cover. Cool 90s
Beautiful
cover.
beautiful book here. #1. This book you can find online. If you go to eBay now, it's going to be a $10 to $15 book.
Get it?
But you can still find it in the wild pretty easy for $5 or less sometimes.
Saturday might be that day.
Absolutely.
It really might.
Yeah, if you come on down here to We Can Be Heroes in Chatsworth,
Fly out here if you have
they are
to.
having a sale over 12,000 books
12,000
at 11
books.
a.m. this Saturday. They're going to have hot
And-
dogs and sodas and stuff for the kiddies.
This book as well is in the shop, and that is the first appearance of the Ghost Rider. This is a heavy hitter.
Johnny Blaze right there.
We literally just request it and it magically appears. Like this is how much this is. I love being in the shop, guys. I'll tell you the fact that we can literally
Blaze and
just
catch together.
ask for any book.
Blaze and catch together.
And I'm talking about not
Look at
just
that.
like major keys. I'm talking about stuff that these are in the thousands of dollars, guys.
Mhm.
Like, these are
Mhm.
really outstanding books right here.
Yep.
And this is an 8.0.
It's an insane grade on a wonderful book. That's actually a really good deal too for the price.
People have to sell their
So-
animals to get this kind of books. Sad. So sad.
Oh
Oh,
Okay.
is there a chance that Carla Gugino is nude in that book?
No, that's not gonna happen.
No. And we're talking about Frank Miller's Sin City: A Dame to Kill For.
Hmm.
Just picked this up.
Ooh.
I paid $1 for
Was that the
it,
name of the
guys.
sequel? that
It
came
was.
out?
Yeah.
Eva Green, right?
So
Ava Green.
Never saw movies. Didn't want to get negative.
we've heard rumors have been spreading, and I'm not sure if it's been officially announced or not, that Sin City is getting a television series at some point. So that is something that's a really cool idea, a Sin City TV series. I don't know if it'll be on Rodriguez's network, the
El Rey,
El Rey network or not.
which is off DirecTV now, which is bizarre.
All right.
Yeah.
That's not good. So we'll see. Maybe not. Maybe it'll go on Showtime or something like that. But it's Sin City, and this is just one of the stories, one of the many stories Frank Miller's told over the years. That if this does become a television series, these books will go through the roof, and they've died down in popularity as far as price. Like I said, I picked this up for $1.
Were you guys at ArcLight when they did the special Sin City screening?
Probably.
Okay, yeah, that's why I got to meet Frank Miller there and Robert Rodriguez
Yep.
and Quentin, and they were really cool. I mean, it was a great experience. Just talking Sin City, a book I knew literally nothing about until this event. So
Yeah, and then they walked you through it. You were like, "What is this about?" And they set you down, and they held your hand tenderly,
yeah.
and they told you
Tenderly.
all about Sin City.
And Quentin, 15 years later, he said, in 15 years, you're gonna be in my movie. Okay. and it was really exciting.
And sure enough, it
Yeah.
happened.
It did.
Yeah, it's true.
It did.
He's in the scene. If you guys have seen the movie, and even if you haven't, it's in the trailer. Bruce Lee, right, is in a fight scene.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
with Brad Pitt in Once
Mhm.
Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Darren's just chilling in the background, smoking a
Smoking.
cigarette, just watching everything take place. It's cool. It's a cool little scene. Took me right out of it, by the way. So thank you for
That's
that.
what I do.
Oh, that's Darren, obviously. Okay.
The
Did
fact-
that to an
in
Iron
fact-
Man too.
In fact, they
Yeah,
paid
that's
you
true.
what, $7,000 just to stand there and smoke a
Well,
cigarette.
I'm not allowed to express how much money that I made in these scenes, but you know how that goes.
Right.
I know you
right.
signed an NDA. I understand.
90% went to my agent.
I signed an ABC, DEFGHIJK.
You know, when I did that there, I looked a little like
QRS,
Beaker with my face.
WXYZ.
Like,
Yeah.
Beaker.
Phenomena. Okay. So anyway, I think we're done. I've gone over everything I have here.
We need to talk about Sprecher.
We can.
Yeah.
Spreaker. We could talk about Google Play Music.
Yes.
We could talk about Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about
Google Play?
iTunes.
iTunes. We could talk about Blueberry, which we're just now on officially. We're on Blueberry. That's BLUBRRY, Blueberry. Check us out there. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We are
YouTube Red.
on Instagram. We're not on YouTube Red.
What do you
not
mean?
yet.
Is it the same company?
We're YouTube After Dark, maybe.
Oh.
Did you recently put us on Friendster?
That'd be,
Yeah,
I won't have a shirt on.
Well,
It'll be
I don't
YouTube
know.
After Dark.
I thought MySpace was the better choice.
Yeah, you
Okay,
don't want
or
that.
I was
Friendster.
pushing my band.
Okay.
You know, you can
Understood.
still go to myspace.com.
Yes, you can.
You
Some-
can. I don't know my password though.
I have it written down somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember how you had to order your friends? Your top
Oh,
10s?
the top. What? It was top 6 or something, wasn't it? Top 7.
I think you could expand them to top.
They made it eventually where you can expand it, but at first you couldn't.
Dude, so
I remember
personally.
that. It was brutal. I used to have to. I would rotate out, and I would tell all my friends, "Now I'm rotating you out, so you're not going to be in my top 6 or whatever, but you will be next month."
It's kind of like when your third cousin twice removed comes over your house and you just reach in the drawer and make sure to replace like your dog's photo with like your third cousin twice removed.
So there was a Facebook post that a buddy of mine, a friend of mine named Pat Calder, and he likes to remind me about stupid things I say throughout life, and usually on Facebook. So he pulled up an old Facebook post of mine, like probably my first one, and I said on that post, and he reposted it and tagged me in it, and it said, "Don't know why I need to do this, but apparently I'm on Facebook now. Think MySpace is perfectly fine."
Was
And
this
then
like-
dot. And
was
then
this-
Pat posted it to me, and he's like, "I bet you don't feel that way now."
What was this, like 12, 13 years ago? 2007, 2008?
When I put, it was 2007, I
Do
believe.
you remember at our ArcLight job when like the scheduling team was not doing the schedule on time and all they were doing was chilling on MySpace?
That's true.
Yeah.
MySpace was very much grabbing people's attention.
Anyway, we should let the audience go here. Once again, thank you for tuning into the Real Short Box. My name is Darren,
My name is Supreme Chancellor Kevin.
And I'm Donald.
and you're welcome for all the great financial advice. And we'll
But yeah,
Make
thank
sure-
you. Thank you for listening.
I would like to say we'll see you at the comic shop, but since we're already here,
Maybe we'll just see you here. All right.
Oh.
Thank you, guys.
hold the pose. Hold the pose.
Hold the pose. Hold the pose.
Perfecto.